The story took place in a world where magic and reality constantly overlapped. After 10 years of silence, the once famous Four Horsemen showed signs of returning. When that familiar symbol lit up again, it marked not just a comeback, but the start of a whole new game. Soon after, the city skyline lit up, and that iconic symbol appeared once more. It didn't feel like a flashy trick, it felt more like a signal that they were back. The underground show kicked off right away. Lights came on, and the Four Horsemen stepped onto the stage one by one. First came Daniel, with the same style, timing, and delivery people remembered. Then Merritt followed, still joking around, cutting Daniel off while lowering the audience's guard. He made it clear that everyone there had willingly come to be fooled. Jack came out next, and his tone turned serious, bringing up real-world issues like war, pandemics, and technology. He pointed out that people now needed magic more than ever. Finally, Henry appeared. For why it wasn't Lula, that would be explained later. Henry said he had moved on with his life, but magic had stayed the same. The four stood together and officially began the show. Daniel announced that every audience member had received a card and asked them to swap with someone nearby. The process looked simple, almost intentionally designed to lower suspicion. He then called up someone holding the ace of diamonds. Merritt hypnotized him right on the spot. Then the performance escalated. A hooded figure appeared, and the voice kept shifting between Daniel, Merritt, and Jack. He called out a man named Brett and exposed how he had moved money through a crypto platform. When Brett tried to defend himself, the figure revealed details of his offshore account. Brett panicked and reached for his phone, only to realize it was already in the hooded figure's hand. The show kept going. Daniel told the audience to pour their drinks onto their cards. Words appeared on each card, and together they formed a complete password. Angry Brett rushed the stage, only to find out everything had been part of a layered hologram illusion. After the show, the hooded figure met up with two partners. It turned out the Four Horsemen comeback was actually just a three-person operation. Back at their base, Daniel's hologram was still running. When it shut off, the real Daniel showed up. He said he had found them in 30 seconds and asked how long it would take the police. Then he listed their actions one by one and showed how much he knew. He broke down the backgrounds of Bosco, June, and Charlie. Bosco had been an actor whose career fell apart because of student debt. June had been expelled from multiple schools and rejected authority. Charlie had grown up as an orphan in foster care. Daniel said they had been pulling small Robin Hood jobs and even used the Horseman's name. Then he brought up a key group, the Eye. The three were clearly caught off guard. Daniel explained he had received a mission from the Eye, along with tarot cards and tickets. It was a much bigger plan, and the three of them had been chosen. Charlie asked why not the other horsemen. Daniel said they were no longer around. Bosco didn't buy it and said they didn't need Daniel. Daniel replied that what they had been doing was small time, while he was aiming for something much bigger. June and Charlie decided to stay. Daniel gave them a choice, join or walk away. The scene shifted to a mining site in South Africa. The Vanderberg Group was launching a new mine. CEO Veronica gave a speech. At a board meeting, someone questioned the future of the diamond business. Veronica pushed back immediately, using a diamond to show that value came from demand. She then announced she would head to Antwerp for a showcase. Meanwhile, Daniel and the three arrived in Antwerp. He explained the mission: pull off a major operation within 3 days. The target was the Heart Diamond. It had been controlled by the Vanderberg family and was heavily secured. June questioned why it mattered so much. Daniel explained the diamonds had been used for illegal financial operations. This mission wasn't just about stealing, it was about exposing the system. Veronica received a mysterious call. The caller said they knew her past and demanded the diamond. Back with the team, June swapped pickup info at the station. Bosco posed as a PR agent and got close to the photographer. Through a series of moves, they took control of the schedule. The dinner event, Veronica interacted with guests. Daniel approached and used diamond history to question its true value. He made a key point: diamonds aren't special, the people telling the story are. Veronica became alert. During the shoot, Charlie posed as the photographer and asked to take the diamond out. June created a distraction at the same time. The diamond was swapped. At the auction, Veronica showed the diamond. Suddenly, Bosco rushed the stage as a protester. Daniel followed and said he would move the diamond into his hand. Veronica dismissed it. The next second, the diamond was in Daniel's hand. The scene went chaotic. Veronica ordered them to be captured. During the escape, Henry, Jack, and Merritt showed up. The original Horsemen reunited. They worked together and created confusion. They were eventually pushed to the rooftop. Merritt tried hypnosis, but it didn't fully work. A helicopter appeared. They boarded it. Smoke filled the air, and they vanished. When security arrived, only a paper model was left behind. The real group had escaped using ropes. Veronica realized not just the diamond, but the entire box had been switched. She swore to take everything back. Meanwhile, the real photographer had just arrived on a boat. The old and new teams met. They gathered around the diamond. Though the mood wasn't fully aligned, Daniel introduced the three newcomers. Henry questioned the police situation. Bosco apologized. Daniel made a few remarks. They brought up Lula. Jack said she had moved to Paris. The story moved forward as the new team formed with a clear goal. Merritt was teased by Daniel for spending 10 years drinking in Mexico. Their reunion turned into calling each other out, and things got tense. After leaving the stage, Merritt and Jack said they were done and wanted out. Charlie stepped in and asked why the Four Horsemen had split. Daniel finally explained it all traced back to a mission in Russia. They had been overconfident, underestimated the risks, and took success for granted. He went wrong, and their leader Rhodes was trapped in prison and never made it out. After that, the atmosphere turned heavy. Merritt asked why the young trio was involved. Daniel said it was the same reason they were chosen by the Eye. Each of them had received a tarot card, but no one knew what came next. At this point, Charlie found a clue and asked everyone to put their tarot cards together. A map slowly appeared. Charlie pointed out it clearly meant they needed to team up again. "You're the Four Horsemen. Act like it." With the push from the younger group, Merritt, Jack, and Henry agreed to stay and finish the mission first. The map led them to an old castle. The main gate was locked with a complex mechanism. Jack studied it for a long time but couldn't open it. Instead, Thaddeus realized it wasn't about force, but logic. He adjusted the mechanism, and the door opened. Inside, the castle was filled with magic props. Like a huge collection, there were classic tools and famous historical pieces. They solved puzzles along the way and opened a hidden door. Then someone familiar showed up, Thaddeus Bradley. He said he didn't send the tarot cards, but he also got instructions from the Eye. He had been told to prepare this place in advance. He believed the castle itself was the key. This place had once been the starting point of the Eye, back in 1943. Magicians created a fake town here to mislead wartime intelligence. So the real mission was likely hidden in this castle. At the same time, Veronica declared war on the Four Horsemen through the media. She also got the police involved to hunt them down. The mysterious caller made a deal with her evidence in exchange for the diamond back in the castle. Everyone split up to search for clues. Henry and Charlie entered a mirror maze. Daniel and Bosco went into an upside-down room. Jack and Thaddeus explored a distorted space. After several tries, they found nothing. They regrouped in the main hall and even started showing magic tricks. Only then did they realize they were there to find answers, not perform. The key clue was found by Charlie. He discovered a hidden compartment in a painting. Inside was a file about Nazi war criminals. Veronica's father was listed. The truth started to come together. Her family built their fortune by laundering money and continued the system. The mission wasn't about stealing the diamond, but exposing the entire family. Bosco found more information. 15 years ago, Veronica's mother died by suicide. A week later, the housekeeper and her son died in a car crash. The case was suspicious, just as they figured it out. The police surrounded the castle. Bradley told everyone to split up and escape. A chase began. The team used traps and hidden paths to get away. But during the chaos, Thaddeus, Jack, and Merritt were captured. Daniel and Henry found Bradley while escaping, but he had been shot. Bradley said from the moment he entered the castle, he knew this would be his final act. His last words were, "You have to stop her." Daniel and Henry left with the others. Bosco wanted to go back and rescue them but was stopped. The scene shifted to an interrogation room. Veronica was questioning Merritt and told him Bradley was gone. Merritt said it had become personal. Veronica mentioned she grew up around magic but hated it. Merritt started reading her. From small details, he figured out her father had an affair with the housekeeper. He went further. After her mother's death, Veronica caused the car crash herself. The truth was exposed, and Veronica left immediately. Lula sneaked into the station in disguise. She created chaos and rescued Jack and Merritt. She also complained no one told her about the reunion. They split up again. Jack went to get a car. Merritt went to rescue someone, but to cover the escape, Merritt got caught again. Meanwhile, Jack, Thaddeus, and Lula escaped and regrouped with the others. After hearing Merritt was captured, Daniel decided to go to Abu Dhabi. He planned to trade the diamond for Merritt and end everything, but the others disagreed. They wanted to finish the mission. Charlie finally spoke. He said the Four Horsemen made him care about the world for the first time. They all agreed rescue and expose the truth. They released a message online. The Four Horsemen would perform publicly in Abu Dhabi and return the diamond. Veronica took the bait and set the deal at her event. Bosco and Charlie went undercover. The exchange began. One side gave the person, the other gave the diamond. Suddenly, Bosco drove a car straight through, causing chaos, but it was actually Veronica's trap. Everyone fell into a giant glass box. She announced, "You'll die in a failed escape act." Sand started pouring in. They remembered a real escape case. Jack suggested using water to increase the sand's weight and break the glass. They broke a pipe, and water poured in. Finally, Henry used his ring underwater to cut the glass. A crack appeared. They worked together and broke it, escaping successfully. Meanwhile, Bosco was caught but managed to escape again. Veronica took the diamond to a desert vault to meet the mysterious caller. That person was Charlie. The truth was revealed. He was the housekeeper's son and Veronica's half-brother. He had survived the crash. He said, "I am the evidence." Veronica pretended to hand over the diamond, then fired a gun. Charlie caught the bullet with a trick. Then the vault lifted up. They had been on a stage the whole time. Charlie revealed everything was his plan, including the tarot cards. The best trick is making people believe something fake is real. All the assumptions led Veronica into the Charlie took over the family fortune and donated it all. The show ended. Back at the base, the team celebrated and repaired their bond. Then a package arrived. Inside was a puzzle lock. After solving it, a hologram appeared. "Rhodes," he said, "I didn't lie. I just made you believe something that wasn't real." He welcomed the new members and reminded them, "This is just the beginning." What looked like a flashy magic show was really about trust and choice. The real trick was never the method, but making people believe it was real. When the truth comes out, you realize you were part of it too. If it were you, would you see through it? Or stay in the illusion?